So in this 14A movie, where 3 women are kidnapped and mistreated by a psychopath, there were 6 or 7 kids in the theater. 3 of them did not even have parents with them, and they did not look 14 at all. Make your own conclusions. I got nothing to say. Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that Split is no perfect movie. So in Split, 3 girls, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, Haley Lou Richardson, and Jessica Sula, are kidnapped by a man named Kevin, played by James McAvoy, who suffers from dissociative identity disorder, and the 3 girls try to convince one of the personalities to set them free before they're killed off by his most dangerous identity out of all of them, the Beast, while Kevin's psychologist, played by Betty Buckley, becomes more suspicious of his recent behavior. Okay, say what you will about M. Night Shyamalan, in fact, you can say a lot about him, really, but when his direction is good, especially in a suspenseful thriller, it's really impressive. Whenever we're in the area where the girls are being held, it feels so claustrophobic. We're never given away where this location is. We're given clues over the course of the film, and we feel just as restrained and trapped as the characters are, thanks to POV shots of people looking through the crack of a door to make us guess what could be behind it, or lower angle and sometimes even higher angle camera shots that present the limited power these women have. And Wes Dillon Fortson's score makes each scene feel so eerie with the use of quick violin music or slow drumming that just makes you feel uneasy the entire time. Anya Taylor-Joy gives a really good performance as Casey. At first glance, she seems really weak and helpless in comparison to the other 2. In fact, when she's abducted, she's on the left side of the frame while the other 2 on the right side, making it clear that she's more pessimistic than the other 2. But when we see flashbacks of her past that remind her of this current situation, we can understand why she is this way and how remembering these events can influence her to become stronger and risk her life trying to interact with the other identities and fight them emotionally and physically in order to escape. And with Betty Buckley, she has such natural line delivery that you genuinely believe she's both fascinated by the way DID patients can change their bodies physiologically, while also fearful of the dangers that come with having so much power at their disposal. And of course, the best part of the film, without a doubt, is James McAvoy giving some of the best work he's done in his entire career. He can switch from one identity to another in a second without ever feeling forced or over the top, which is saying a lot since he goes from an OCD patient to a 9-year-old just like that. And part of the reason this works is because each of the main personalities have clearly defined traits where you can understand each identity as its own character, and McAvoy understands who these individual identities are and plays them out as three-dimensionally as possible. The OCD patient is so meticulous he forces the victims to take some of their clothes off because of just the minor differences, like one has a crumb, and that's it. And the 9-year-old Hedwig has no real family members, just the other identities, and he wants some attention from the other victims. And it's little things like that that make each identity feel like another character. As with a lot of Shyamalan films, the dialogue can occasionally sound either unrealistic or over-expository. There are times where the main girls, especially the 3 girls, say words that are of a higher vocabulary that no 16-year-old girl would ever say, especially not the popular girl. And there are other times where they spell out stuff like where a hidden exit is or whether a door is locked that are either painfully obvious to the viewer or saying these things out loud can get you caught by Kevin, and they say it anyways. And the other main issue I had is that sometimes Shyamalan uses dark humor, especially with the 9-year-old, to try and relieve the tension. But whether it's funny or not, and it is supposed to be funny, I should make that part clear, it doesn't always work because the scenarios are already unsettling, and using a joke can kind of make it more twisted as opposed to lighten the mood. And the other time it doesn't work is when you're really building the tension and you're feeling on the edge of your seat, and then they say something funny where it takes you out of the moment and it's not as suspenseful on impact. Split is one of the better efforts from Shyamalan in the past few years, thanks to good performances from Anya Taylor-Joy, Betty Buckley, and especially James McAvoy, some suspenseful, claustrophobic direction, and an ending that is so surprising that it's not even worth spoiling, even if the dialogue and the occasionally twisted sense of humor doesn't always work. And for that reason, I'm going to give Split a 3.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.